Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. And if you thought for a minute while you were watching tonight's Monday Night Raw that it felt a little different, you would be absolutely right. But it was not different in any positive way whatsoever, because there's a new rule in town, and all it did was serve to make what is already a piece of shit show a whole lot worse. And we are going to talk about it right here and right now as the Fallout show sees Monday Night Raw fall flat on its face after a decent outing with Stomping Ground. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Monday Night Raw review right here on Sledgehammer TV. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Love, exciting and new. Come aboard. They're expecting you. How many love songs can we think about while we show this little thing that we put together? How about a little Beatles? All you need is love. Bum, 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 bum. Maybe a little Van Halen might be more Seth Rollins speed. How do I know when it's love? When it burns like Seth Rollins burns Becky down. Or maybe we do a little Hootie and the Blowfish with a little love and some tenderness. He can be the Ginger Slayer and she can be the man. Or everybody's favorite all night, can you feel the love tonight? Who gives a shit? Really, what we are caught in, ladies and gentlemen, is a bad romance. Whoa, whoa. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Or is it? Oh my God. Am I the only one seeing this when I look at these two? Come on now. Maybe there's something going on with the dark, curly, rugged, muscular, darky guys and the ginger minges of the world. I don't know what's going on there. You see, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and we are here to tell you guys everything wrong with tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, but we do like to have fun. You guys that have been with me for a while, I like to inject a little bit of fun into the show wherever I can, because the WWE's not going to do it for you. Look at what we got tonight. We didn't even get a Firefly Funhouse. Where was all the fun? That's essentially the only reason I watch Monday Night Raw anymore. Ever since we've been made privy to the secrets of Bray Wyatt's new alter ego, that's all I want to see. I don't want to see the rest of this shit. And that is before this new rule. The new rule being wreaking havoc on what is already a chaotic creative staff. There are supposed to be no matches going on anymore while there is a commercial break during airtime. And while initially that sounds good for us, it could have been good for us watching at home. The WWE, like a bunch of chickens without heads, scrambling around like a bunch of morons, they don't know how to deal with this. Oh, we can't go to commercial? How are we going to make money if we can't go to commercial every 10 minutes? What are we going to do, Vince?
Oh, I don't know. We gotta figure it out. You just better get to commercial every 10 minutes. I don't care how you do it.
And that's what we got tonight. We had your regularly scheduled Monday Night Raw, but put together at a pace to fit into the commercials and give you the illusion of, well, you're not missing anything at home anymore. When you're sitting at home, you're watching Monday Night Raw when the commercials are on, don't worry about what you're missing. We're missing here. We're not going to have picture-in-picture anymore. We're not going to show you any of the action. Sometimes a match calls for something like a break in between for the viewing audience at home. If you're doing wrestling right anyway, you build a match to a certain point, you get it to a certain level where even the competitors need a minute or two to lay down, catch their breath, maybe roll to the outside, do something to make their match even better, collect themselves. That's what a commercial break is for. And the easiest way they could accomplish this, it's a very simple fix. Instead of forcing yourself to have to go to commercial every 10 minutes within 1 hour, go to commercial twice during every hour. Just go twice. Make it a long commercial break. I don't give a shit. Make it 6, 8, 10. Give it a 10 full minute commercial break twice during a 1 hour sequence of events. It gives you enough time, at least 15 minutes of segment time, to flush out actual segments to fit into your time and to give matches enough time to actually feel like matches. What did we get? What did we get tonight? We got 3-minute long matches, in some cases a minute and a half. We got nonsensical match types and weird stipulations just being booked on the fly to make sure we can get to commercial. Basically chaos. Raw tonight was a bad attempt at organized chaos, as they are coming up against this new ruling being mandated and edicted from USA Network, I would assume. And it's just a precursor to them going to Fox, because Fox wants them to have a more sports-like feel to SmackDown Live when it goes over there in October. And I think they believe that they shouldn't be going to commercials during match time. And my brain at first, like I said, it's like, that sounds like a great idea, because they will have to give us longer segments and we won't be going to commercial during the middle of important matches like championship matches, number one contender matches, ladder matches, any sort of match. You're not going to go to commercial. We're not going to miss anything. It sounds great. But if you're going to keep the current format, only giving us 3 or 4 minutes of match time in matches that should have way more than that, you have essentially done more damage than good to what was an already piece of shit show. Getting started with this show, we had a little bit of fun, but now the fun, I guess, has seemingly fallen to the wayside, because I cannot understand just how stupid a company can be. You booked your show, your flagship show, around your commercials. You can't book around the commercials when you go to commercial every 10 minutes. This is what you get. You get tonight's Monday Night Raw, which is a debacle. It is right on par with any of the episodes in 2019, maybe even in 2017, where I have said to you guys this has been the worst Raw of the year. This one definitely is right up there with the top contenders for worst show of the year. And when you take, even if you take out all of the new ruling and the timing and the pacing of this show, the way this show was booked and the things that went on during this show, as usual, made no fucking sense. So let's get started with the hammering, and let's talk about this show starting off exactly where we knew it was going to start off, with the love show, the Becky and Seth romance show. Who gives a shit about any of this? And I really, really went to bed last night hoping this was not the direction. I said, God, wrestling God, some kind of God, whoever God you believe in, every God, please don't make this go into a mixed tag team matchup. Please don't make me have to endure any more of Constable Corbin dickhead and the bam bam botch machine bam, the Lacey Evans bam. I don't give a shit. Why do I have to see Seth and Becky and their private romance? Why do we have to make this a thing? I don't know. I don't want to see it, but it's coming at us. And they took it even one step further. They always find a way to make it even worse, because now, essentially, Seth Rollins has accepted a challenge from Baron Corbin at the open of tonight's fucking Monday Night Raw. I don't want to talk about all the romance and the bullshit and the love and that just completely cringy opening segment full of really bad writing. If this is how these two really feel about each other, even just by the body language, you could tell that Seth and Becky are just uncomfortable in this spotlight, in this storyline. I'm sure it's starting to get old. Seth Rollins is taking it out on the internet community today. He's been on a fucking rampage all day trying to stick up for the WWE, and then I gotta sit down at Monday Night Raw and watch this, and it's like, Seth, bro, what are you talking about? I understand when you want to beat your chest out and say you're the best. You're supposed to believe you're the best. If you don't believe you're the best, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. Right? But there comes a time and a place where you have to take a step back and be like, yeah, well, the place I'm working at might not be the greatest in the world, but, we're trying, do something like that. Be honest about the product that you're putting forth. You cannot possibly believe that Monday Night Raw tonight is in any way indicative of being the best wrestling on the planet, period. I'm sorry. And you have already made me not want to see Extreme Rules with the first 2 matches that you guys decided to book tonight with only 3 weeks to go. We'll get to that. Oh, don't you worry. We'll get to that. The Elimination Chamber mixed tag team... not the Elimination Chamber. See, this is how fucked up they are. We went from talking about the Elimination Chamber mixed tag team dual championship match. Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin, before we go away from that, both of these competitors lost in 2 consecutive attempts at a championship, and they're being rewarded with a third. I just can't. I can't even wrap my head around this whole thing. I want it to wrap up and go away as quickly as possible. And if Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans leave Extreme Rules as dual champions, I just might pop an aneurysm here live on camera during that review for you guys. So it's something maybe you might be looking forward to if you don't like me too much. And if that's the case, go fuck yourself. I don't care. But listen, we're going to go on with this review because we're going to go from talking about the Elimination Chamber to the Elimination Tag. 8-man, 4-team elimination tag team matchup for absolutely no reason at all. And I point to this immediately as an example of why this new rule is not going to work when going to commercial every 10 minutes. You had the first 2 teams eliminated in this matchup within the first 4 minutes so that you can go to commercial. And all of a sudden an elimination match has a break. All of a sudden we got breaks now. That's not the rules of an elimination matchup. An elimination matchup, as soon as one team is pinned, they are eliminated. They go to the back. The rest of the match continues. There is no stop and fucking reset, Michael Cole, you idiot. Oh, we're going to have a stop and reset while we take a commercial break. Stop and fucking reset? This ain't golf, bro. I'm not taking a Mickey and gonna fucking reset at the tee and go shoot off again. This is wrestling. There's no reset. Especially live. And then to make it even worse, both sets of tag team champions, the SmackDown Live and Raw champions respectively, if you want to give them respect, get pinned in this match, giving the win to the Usos. For what fucking reason, I have no idea. Why there are 4 men from SmackDown Live in this matchup right at the start of this show, extinguishing the rest of the possibilities for a wild card the rest of the show, which we all know that's not going to be the case anyway. I don't fucking know. But this matchup was way too quick. It was for absolutely nothing. Both champions lost. The Usos won for no... What did they win? What did they win? An opportunity at one of the 2 champions? The only silver lining in this that I seen at all was in the finish, where the Revival somehow were the cause of Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan being eliminated first from this matchup. There was a miscommunication, some sort of physical contact between the 2 teams, and Daniel Bryan ends up getting pinned. The team is eliminated. That one spot gives me the slightest hope, and I hate to beat a dead horse on this channel, but they give me no choice. But it gives me hope that maybe the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions are going to be a little bit perturbed at the Raw Tag Team Champions, and maybe we get a unification match and have one tag team division. Looks like they're going to be starting to try to bring in some new rules and make some new changes. Why not start there? Because it's definitely needed. And that's the only good thing I could find about this 8-man tag elimination match. It was disrespectful to everybody involved. I mean, Daniel Bryan was pinned with a schoolboy in under 4 minutes. The next team would be eliminated 30 seconds later, as the New Day would fall to a shatter machine from the Revival. And then the Revival would then, after a break and the stop and reset, the Usos took out the Revival, and who knows why? Who knows why? I also have no idea why. We are going to see a tug of war tonight. Apparently, Raw is tug of war this evening, and we are going to see Brown Spray Tan versus the old milk dud Bobby Lashley pulling on a rope, because this is why I watch professional wrestling, to watch two grown men pull rope against each other like I'm at the fucking county fair. Watching two local fucking tough guys try to pull each other into the mud. This is fucking pro wrestling. And you have to give me a scene showing me Braun Strowman pulling a 17,000-pound tractor trailer. 17,000. It's the tractor pull featuring Braun Strowman, the brownest spray tan you've ever seen, pulling this white tractor trailer truck and not doing it at all. It was about as realistic as the chances of us seeing a decent WWE show in the next couple of fucking months. Maybe in the next couple of years. Maybe before I leave this earth. What are the realistic chances of that happening? About as realistic as the segment with fucking Braun Strowman and the 17,000-pound tractor trailer. Go fuck yourself. Okay? Go fuck yourself. This, listen, if you're still with me now, it's just gonna start getting good. Because now we're talking about Miz TV with R-Truth and Carmella. And let me tell you something. R-Truth is a national treasure. Any of my longtime fans will tell you this is not a bandwagon thing. I'm not copycatting anybody. I have been one of the longest running broadcasters on YouTube that has been a firm supporter of Ron Killings way before the inception of the 24/7 avocado title piece of garbage I'm a Clown championship. And tonight he proved why. You give that man a microphone, he's fucking fantastic. He can make you laugh. He draws you in. His one-liners are fantastic. He confuses the words consummation with constipation. And he made me fucking laugh. R-Truth is a gem. He's a 100% bona fide entertainer, which is why they put this stupid fucking belt on him. And I think it would be better if they would have just put his face on a title belt, called it the R-Truth Championship, and let him walk around just being champion and talking, because that's way more entertaining than all of this shit with Drake Maverick and EC3 and the all of a sudden constant pinfalls whenever they're at Monday Night Raw and the whole fucking wedding reception and all this shit that I gotta see Drake Maverick crying in the middle of the ring like he's doing his best Dolph Ziggler impersonation because he lost in 13 seconds to R-Truth, and now R-Truth lost to this guy and that guy, and he ends up winning it back twice, and now R-Truth is a 9-time champion, and Renee Young wants, 9-time champion. Shut up. It means nothing. They might as well be tossing around a fucking sack of potatoes, because that's about as much as it amounts to. Once this segment boiled down into the 24/7 Benny Hill shenanigans, I lost it. I didn't care anymore. But R-Truth, man, I love you, bro. You make me fucking laugh, and it was fucking hysterical. If you missed that, go back and watch the beginning of Miz TV. But let me say this about that. The fact that The Miz didn't give two shits about the 24/7 title goes back to the points that I make every single week. Whenever there's an upper card talent or a main event talent anywhere near or around the 24/7 championship, they don't give a shit. Why didn't The Miz try to at least scoop up that championship? He was in the middle of all that ruckus. Why didn't he try to pin R-Truth before all of that shit happened? Why wasn't that the reason The Miz even had this interview in the first place? Because he doesn't want it. Because The Miz is not a clown. He sees what that fucking belt is and he wants nothing to do with it. And I don't fucking blame him. But this is what we got. Drake Maverick challenging R-Truth to a one-on-one matchup. He defeats him in fucking seconds, and then the stupid 24/7 nonsense. Who cares? My favorite part about this whole thing, actually, even outside of R-Truth, was this was the one and only microsecond we got to see any little bit of the Firefly Funhouse as Abby the Witch was lurking in the shadows as The Miz was making his way down towards this Miz TV, and it made me even more excited to see tonight's Funhouse. I thought maybe we were going to get the Firefly Funhouse live, an impromptu episode live from the back or something like that. But you know what we got? Fucking nothing. We got the second hour kicking off with a 2-on-1 handicap match between Shane McStuntman, the human sweat machine, and Drew Mac I don't give a shit versus Roman Reigns. In a match that shouldn't be happening because last night it was clearly stated by Michael Cole as the match was going on that this was going to be the last encounter. Roman Reigns finally gained his measure of revenge. And then we seen Shane and Drew crying like Dolph in the back about losing. And now tonight we come to the 2-on-1 handicap matchup. It gets way out of hand very quickly. This man who has beaten the likes of Brock Lesnar and Triple H and many, many sacrificial talents along his way to his undeserved coronation at the top was easily dispatched by the duo of Shane and Drew McIntyre to the point in which I don't know why the man lost yesterday. He couldn't get the job done tonight in such a short time. It makes no sense about him just mopping the floor with Drew McIntyre yesterday. And now today, Roman Reigns is laying out there like he's taking a fucking nap after he gets beat up by Shane and Drew for the one cool moment of the night happening as The Undertaker appeared out of nowhere. And while this is the way you use The Undertaker, you don't book him in a fucking match at a meaningless show in the middle of nowhere against another aging veteran. You put him in surprise spots where he bails out superstars or things of that nature. But this was not the place to do that. Why would he save Roman Reigns? What personal stake does The Undertaker have in helping out Roman Reigns? The man that has beat him at WrestleMania. A man that made him consider retirement. Made him leave the hat and the jacket in the middle of the ring. And what? Now they're buds? Two big dogs in a tiny yard. What? They're gonna team up now? You think I give a shit now that The Undertaker's involved? That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened in the back. I could see the conversation happening right now. Here comes Triple H into Vince McMahon's office.
Dad, this whole, I'm sorry, I'm mixing my voices. This whole Drew and Shane thing, it's dead. Did you say dead? Yes, it's dead. Dead? That's it? Great idea, Trips, my boy. Get me The Undertaker. We'll give him a tag match and it'll make it more exciting. That's not what I meant, Dad. Do it! Get it right now! That's such good shit! We'll bring in The Undertaker. He'll get Roman over. That's such good shit. Thanks, Triple H.
And then I could just see him sitting there seething in anger. What a crock of shit. I didn't give a shit not once before, and just because you added The Undertaker to the equation, I don't give a shit now. Did I pop when The Undertaker came out? Of course you do, because that's what you do when you're a fan of my age. It's the fucking Undertaker, and he looked great. He threw some good right hands, couple of nice big boots. He looked okay. But put here, I don't want to see him. All I wanted to see happen after he bailed out Roman Reigns was Bray Wyatt come out to the ring dressed as the Fiend. Pop up on the screen. You don't even have to fucking say anything, bro. All you had to do was, "We're so happy that you're our friend," play the little fucking bump, and then show him standing there in the Fiend mask, just fucking breathing. And then he tells The Undertaker, "Let me in." And then it fucking cuts to black. And that's what Monday Night Raw would be doing. My Monday Night Raw would be doing that. But no, instead we gotta worry about Roman and Shane. We gotta get as much in there as possible so people stop booing this crap. They've brought The Undertaker in as another shield for Roman and not his cohorts this time, and his opponents. Because this is one of the two worst storylines happening in wrestling right now. And I could care less. And I know neither could you. After a break, to recap here, Roman Reigns got beat up and was done in about 3 minutes, and he just laid there laid there for the entirety of the Undertaker segment as if he was hit by the 17,000-pound truck that Braun Strowman pulled into the back of the arena. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. They showed some footage of boring, trashly Bobby Lashley, the almighty milk dud, trying to pull down a light post with a rope. The rope snapped instead. Because Bobby Lashley's as much of a clown as everybody that's involved with the 24/7 championship. Braun Strowman defeats Bobby Lashley in a tug of war. I don't even know what I watched here. I saw two guys standing in a ring holding onto a rope. Bobby Lashley made it look like he was about to lose, and then he attacked Braun Strowman. Who cares? Who gave a shit about this segment at all? Did you? I certainly hope you didn't, because it was a fucking waste of all of our time. Here's something I want to bring to your attention that a lot of people might not have caught, and I just thought it was kind of fucked up and stupid. Like most of tonight's show, Charlie Caruso's doing an interview with AJ Styles in the back. She says, AJ, why don't you tell us how you're feeling? Since this is his first night back, he's been recovering from things, and AJ Styles was about to enlighten us on his recovery. She immediately interrupted him before he even started to answer her question, to ask him another question, which had nothing to do with the previous question, which begs the question of my own, why didn't you just start the fucking interview with the question of why he challenged Ricochet? AJ, how you feeling? Well, you know how I'm feeling. You know what? Forget how you're feeling. I don't give a shit how you feel. We want to know not how you're feeling physically. We want to know why you challenged Ricochet instead. What am I watching here? I can't help but feel like Vince was in her ear and he heard what she had asked and was like, why are you being nice to him? I don't want to hear how he feels. Ask him about why he challenged the bald kid. That was fucking stupid. And then, in this interview, No Way Jose's music begins to play. I thought maybe this was a mistake at first and that the music was playing in the arena and it was too loud and AJ got distracted. But off camera is AJ's buddies, the Good Brothers, and they're partying with No Way Jose. And AJ Styles comes up to them again and continuing in what he started last week, he started to talk down to the Good Brothers, saying, when was the last time you guys won a friggin' match? This is what you guys want to do? You want to hang around being a bunch of losers in the Conga Moron dance troupe? Or do you want to be the club, the guys that were back in Japan that used to kick ass and take names? Right? And they never take kindly to his advances this way. And, oh, well, we're going to prove you wrong. In fact, we have a match right now. If you have a match right now against the fucking Viking Experience Warrior Raiders, what the fuck are you doing in the back dancing with No Way Jose? Maybe AJ's got a point. I'm interested in where this is going. I personally would love to see them involve Finn Balor at some point. Maybe Gallows and Anderson start to get a little pissed off at AJ being such a dick to them, trying to fire them up, and they go to the other club leader, saying that Finn was the true leader all along, things of that nature. It would make great TV, and you could have the club versus the club, so to speak, inner turmoil, using their past history, which is pretty much fair game now since the actual Bullet Club is no more. And I think it would be great TV. But it remains to be seen if they do anything awesome like I suggest right now. All I can see is them somewhat just becoming like AJ's two little puppies again. Like they're all of a sudden eventually going to start winning and they're going to say, oh, it's AJ that sparked their fire, that made us shine our heads a little more bold, and now we're able to beat people all of a sudden. No thanks. And just to prove my point, the Viking Raiders defeated Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in 3 minutes. Because we had to go to commercial and because the WWE doesn't give a shit. But I'll give them a slight pass here because at least in this scenario, while Gallows and Anderson may look like a couple of jackasses, there's a story being told here. So we have to wait for the end result of the story. Like I said, if it results in some sort of a teaming together of AJ and the club, great. If it results in some sort of a faction warfare or some sort of a AJ versus Finn dynamic with the club being the prize at the end, fine. At least it's something, and something is always better than nothing, which is essentially what they give us all the time. Nikki Cross went to Alexa Bliss backstage, starting to apologize for last night and everything that happened in her championship match versus Bayley. And again, I don't really give a shit about anything happening here. This went on even further after the break. They came back to the girls in the back. It was Natty and Naomi, and they were talking to Nikki Cross without Alexa Bliss around, warning her about everything we already know. Alexa Bliss is a conniving little bitch. She's just trying to use her to get what she wants, yada, 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 same old song and dance. And of course, Natty, the hen mother, has to be the one to stick up for her. God forbid we get her real-life good buddy Sarah Logan on TV. These girls are like best friends. Maybe you have them fucking pair up since the Riot Squad is no more and Sanity's not a thing. I think they would be a great fucking pairing. Why not use somebody else? Why do we have to use fucking Natalya? She's gonna stand up for all the women in the division. Who cares, man? Alexa Bliss is using you. Alexa Bliss is blah, 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 blah. Boo, boo, bee, boo. Be my friend. Don't be her friend. I'm Girl Dolph. Boo, boo, bee, boo. I don't give a shit. And again, it continues to just get worse from here. Mojo Bobo, the Hobo Rowley, versus Heath Slater is booked for some fucking unknown reason. And this match never happens because it becomes another segment for the Benny Hill Avocado I'm a Clown, I'm a Dumbass Bullshit Championship 24/7 title, which went to Cedric Alexander. It went to EC3. It went back to R-Truth. Please. Enough is enough. Nobody gives a shit. And EC3 was the one that looked like he was going to make it out alive when Carmella comes from out of nowhere, grabs the belt away from him, and then he gets pinned with a roll-up on the ramp, just like we seen happen to him 2 weeks ago. And I'm asking, why does EC3 even work there? Why do any of these people want to be involved? Is it just because of the paycheck? Are they getting paid enough for this? Because I can't. I can't take it. Kofi Kingston came out and was interviewed by Charlie Caruso. They were interrupted by Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. They told Charlie Caruso to leave because she never has any good questions, and based on her interaction with AJ Styles, I would have to agree with them. They pretty much broke it down to everything that Dolph has been saying about Kofi Kingston. They took Dolph Ziggler's angle and they put it in Sami Zayn's mouth, saying, well, you know, Kofi Kingston, you would never be anything without the help of your friends. And then Kofi's like, well, I'm going to prove to you tonight that I'm going to be able to do it without my friends when I beat your ass in this ring. Great. So now we have Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn again in a non-title match for no reason. A match that should be happening on SmackDown Live, but Sami Zayn is on Raw. I don't know. Wild card, whatever that is. And this match went almost 10 minutes. Almost. But this match was not the story. Kofi Kingston easily defeated Sami Zayn. But then it turned into Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. Apparently they had nothing else to do. They wanted to give Kofi Kingston 2 matches in a row tonight. So that's what they did. And Kofi Kingston defeats Kevin Owens again via countout in a non-title match. And I'm asking everybody why they did this to Owens and Zayn. Why didn't they just, if they were so insistent on having Kofi come out tonight, just have him come out tonight and fight Sami Zayn, and that's the end of it. What is all this extra? You could have saved Kevin Owens' rage for tomorrow night and have Kevin Owens challenge Kofi Kingston tomorrow on SmackDown Live. But no, you rush it tonight, and then Kevin Owens gets counted out in under 2 minutes. I mean, what did he do to Kevin Owens so bad that he couldn't get back in the ring by a count of 10 that we haven't seen him come back from before. This is what happens when you book the show around commercial breaks. Everybody looks like a jackass. And it gets even worse from there when we go to talk about the women. And I want to say, you know what, I was going to say this wasn't that bad, but now that I'm thinking about it, after Kofi Kingston defeated both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in a span of about 12 minutes time, he was then attacked by Samoa Joe. And while part of me is not mad at it so much because, Samoa Joe dropped the United States Championship, logically speaking, you would normally move a guy up the ranks and his next stop should be a major championship. But when you look at the reign that Samoa Joe had, does Samoa Joe seem like he's worthy of a world championship? I'm the biggest Samoa Joe fan that there is. I'm one of his biggest marks out there, and I hate using that term. But I've been a follower of Samoa Joe since TNA Wrestling. One of my favorite matches of all time, Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle from TNA. Fantastic stuff. The guy is a AAA star. But putting him in this scenario when he's done nothing but lose as champion, he hasn't been made to look dominant. When was the last time he had a real major win that mattered after winning the championship? It just seems wrong. It seems wrong. In fact, the right thing to have done with Samoa Joe is exactly what they did in this segment, but in the main event tonight. Samoa Joe's involvement should have been during the AJ Styles Ricochet United States Championship match that closed this show. If they would have done exactly that at the end here, and have no winner between AJ and Ricochet, and have Joe come out, storm the match, ruin the match, attack Ricochet, attack AJ, leading to a triple threat match for the United States Championship. Ricochet, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe at Extreme Rules. There's a reason to watch fucking Extreme Rules. But that is nowhere near what we got. We got Samoa Joe attacking Kofi Kingston. And while I appreciate him being moved away from Owens and Zayn and Ziggler, I'm not sure this was really the right move in this scenario. I think Joe would have been much more effective following up from where he's already been. Maybe not the right time to move him over yet. But this could be very good for Kofi Kingston, because what Kofi Kingston, to prove to everybody that his championship isn't stale and boring, is a good opponent. Because everybody wants to go, oh, Becky's a bad champion. Seth's a bad champion. Kofi's a bad champion. They're not bad champions. They're just being badly booked. You want to talk about badly booked? Let's talk about Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross versus Naomi. And I can't believe I'm going to read this sentence. Alexa Bliss defeats Naomi in 1 minute and 14 seconds. And I don't care if you want to blame the outside interference by Nikki Cross or the outside spot that Naomi tried to attack Alexa Bliss and unexpectedly hit Nikki Cross instead. Really made no impact on the finish of the match. Naomi went back into the ring, then got hit with a fucking DDT and was pinned by Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss squashed Naomi. Naomi could wrestle circles around Alexa Bliss. And when I seen this pairing, I'm like, alright, I know the fucking rules are weird because of the commercial break thing tonight, but I wanted to see what these two girls would be able to do with each other. How much can you judge in 1 minute and 20 seconds? Less than. So Naomi loses here. Alexa gets mad, starts beating up Naomi even more so, even though she won at the end, only to have Natty come out and protect her girls, right? Mother hen clucking her way down to ringside. I'm from Canada. And then they turn it into a tag team match, because apparently there's nobody else that fucking works there that we can put on TV, that we have to have multiple segments featuring the same superstars. But then Alexa and Nikki beat Natalya and Naomi. Naomi lost twice on the same night in a total of 6 minutes wrestling time. 2 matchups that took a total of 6 minutes, and Naomi was made to lose both times. That's not good for anybody. Having a superstar lose twice in one night is, especially in such an underwhelming fashion and in such a small total amount of match time, it's equal to a burial to me. At the very least, it's just as bad as having your champion, a newly crowned champion, lose just 24 hours later. Which is exactly what happened in the main event following all of this ladies' nonsense, because that's what it was tonight. AJ Styles defeats the United States champion Ricochet. And we were, well, it's AJ Styles, man. And Ricochet just won the United States Championship less than 24 hours ago. Nice way to make your champion look. Nice way to respect the kid. Nice way to show him, hey, we got your back. We're going to throw you out there on Monday Night Raw 24 hours later. No build, no booking, not at a pay-per-view, not doing anything special. We're going to give away a pay-per-view quality matchup with championship implications on Monday Night Raw. And you're going to lose, bro. You're going to lose. But it's all right because it's AJ Styles. He's the best wrestler in the world. You're going to lose. It's all right, man. But I just won. But I just became... No, it's all right. You're going to lose, bro. Don't worry. We got it all figured out. There was no story here. There was no angle. The angle they ran was the stupidest fucking angle ever. The match was about to begin. They started to get into it, but very, very quickly, Gallows and Anderson come out. And now I'm starting to be afraid that somehow this is going to be turned into a six-man tag because the WWE loves to do that to us. But it's even worse. Instead, AJ leaves the ring. He starts to yell at them once again. He's accosting them, telling them, you guys are not going to mess up this matchup. In fact, this match isn't going to continue until you guys leave. I got this. Get out of here. You're not going to ruin this. And all this was done so they can go to the last commercial. Leaving these guys like 8 minutes left when we got back to have this unbelievable matchup. And the match was decent for what we were able to get. But having Ricochet lose clean to AJ Styles without Samoa Joe interfering, without anybody sticking their 2 cents in, without any sort of an angle to it, the Good Brothers should have came back and did something against AJ's wishes to make that story go further and at the same time establish something new going on for Ricochet. But they did nothing but pin the champion's shoulders to the mat. And then they got these 2 guys hugging at the end of Monday Night Raw. And that's how Monday Night Raw ends. AJ Styles and Ricochet hugging and holding each other's arms up, celebrating what? Celebrating AJ's victory over the champion. And Ricochet standing there happy and smiling. Yeah, I just got beat by AJ. Yeah. Why the fuck is he standing there smiling next to this guy that just beat his ass? This show is so ass backwards. It's crazy. This was a good match, but the whole night, just like I said at the start of this show, the Fallout show to Stomping Ground fell flat on its fucking face. And it's not just because of the new rules. It's not just because there was no Firefly Funhouse. It is because the WWE sucks. The Undertaker being brought to this show tonight is desperation. The constant shoving down our throats of the relationship of Seth and Becky is desperation. To get these people interested. To get all the fucking people that watch the E! Network to tune in. Oh, look, there's romance in the WWE. Ooh. No way. They are no Macho Man and Elizabeth. There are real-life couples that have been employed in the WWE that are actually married and have children and do not get nearly as much attention as this 3-month-old dating thing that the Man and the Architect have going on, which has sent the Universal Championship down a very strange path, and the Raw Women's Championship as well. Why the WWE felt the need to take this part of their real life and make it center stage, I will never know. It makes me want to throw up. Not because I have a thing for Becky Lynch or any stupid thing like that, but who wants to see that shit, man? You see Lana and Rusev kissing on WWE.com. You see Aleister Black and Zelina Vega being pushed as a power couple. The Miz and Maurice were maybe the first ones to do it back in the day to a good, to a better extent. But even that now is not what it used to be. Who gives a shit about couples? This is fucking wrestling. Who cares about romance? Fucking awful. Monday Night Raw tonight. We knew for a fact following Stomping Grounds it wasn't going to be much better than it's ever been. I was unaware of the new ruling stipulation until about a half an hour prior to the show while I was checking social media. So it took me by surprise, and I did notice very quickly that it gave the show a whole different and very, very just flat feel. Everything just felt off, rushed, like the show was done in a panic, which I know we're kind of used to as fans, but it was really bad tonight. And you want to blame the new rule, go ahead. But you know where my blame goes? Because it doesn't matter. If they knew how to use the fucking rule, doesn't matter what the rule states, they could have used it effectively and still gave us good TV. They're just lazy and now apparently scared and confused. And this is what we get. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you missed the Stomping Grounds review, you missed a good one. And I am honest. That's the one thing I am. I'm not one of these guys that come on here and just, no, everything's bad all the time. Everything's bad. No, man, the first half of Stomping Ground was actually very good. And then it took a major turn for the worse. If you want to hear my thoughts and opinions on the pay-per-view and you missed it, it's live on the channel right now. If you want to see any of our 2K19 Stomping Ground simulations, which were infinitely more entertaining than their real-life match counterparts, one being the Kofi Kingston-Dolph Ziggler Steel Cage matchup. Our simulation is way better than what you saw at Stomping Grounds last night, as well as our SmackDown Live Women's Championship simulation, Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. They are there live for you to watch right now. We got a couple of them going back from Stomping Grounds to the Super Shitdown. We did The Undertaker and Goldberg. We did Randy Orton and Triple H. And also this year we kicked off the entire series with both Money in the Bank ladder matches, all featuring commentary done by yours truly. It's a whole lot of fun to do, and I don't know what we're going to be doing for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, if we do any of them, because as of right now, between the two matches we got, I am not simulating that shit, because I don't even want to see it happen the first time. We also have been coming back at you guys with Hammerin' Hollywood, and Hammerin' Hollywood just dropped the hammer on the Dark Phoenix movie. See why Dark Phoenix is the Monday Night Raw of X-Men movies by checking out our review here on the channel live as well. Anything that your heart desires, because we are no longer just a wrestling channel. We are bringing the hammer down for you on anything and everything that we can, and we hope to see you guys every time we do. In order to make sure you don't miss anything we put up, hit that notification bell right now. But in order to hit that bell, you need to first hit that subscribe button and join the almost 1,700. We are almost there. We are so close as a society. We are so close to 1,700. But I would love if we could hit 2,000 by the time we get to Extreme Rules. So if you had a good time tonight, if you enjoyed this show in any way, you agreed with anything I had to say, and you are still here with me at 48 minutes and 22 seconds, hit that subscribe button right now and join the Sledgehammer TV family, my brothers and sisters of the Sledgehead Army that with me are carving out our own little corner of the internet, one video at a time, as we look to take over the YouTube wrestling community and need you to do so. So slam that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then hit the like button and share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, especially if they were nearly put into a coma by tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is the Team Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. His tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world. And you will never find another show on this platform or any platform anywhere that has a World Championship microphone. His name is Blue the Snowball, and the most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you. That, my friends, is going to do it. And we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV right here on YouTube.com. Can you feel the love tonight?